back to the Culturally Distinct Podcast. It's your boy DJ KO. I'm glad you guys tuned back into the show, man. Look, it's a great week, great time coming. You know what it is. You know how it was. And I thank you guys for continue to subscribe to the show, the channel, Apple, Spotify. You know how we do it. Much love to my sponsors, Red Core Universe. Also, much love to my other sponsor, who is 605 Adult Beverage. How can I forget? How can I forget? 605 Adult Beverages. Guys, if you want looking for a infused beverage that has a little THC in it with alcohol mix, infusion with a fruit flavor, something for the summer months, that's what you get right here. 605. 605.
Kudos to you because I actually tried it. You gave me some, and it's surprisingly good.
Yeah, it's good, ain't it?
It really is.
It's good enough for a daiquiri. No point intended.
No point intended. Huh? Commercial.
No point intended. It's good enough for a guy to drink, and it's good enough for a lady to drink. It can be sweet enough for a woman, but strong enough for a man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so shout out to 605 Adult Beverages, man. Much love to you guys.
Pretty good hashtag.
Yeah, you like that, huh? Don't use it, man. I'm not copyright that. Guys, the voice that you hear in the background, you know, he's a familiar face in the city, you know. You've probably seen this guy out. You probably seen him helping out in the community. You probably seen his voice somewhere. You probably see him in the church just making a speech. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somewhere.
That's true. But let's put some respect on that. I was in one of the first 50 podcasts on your show, Culturally Distinct. Let's put some respect on that.
That's true. That's a hit I give you that.
Yeah, come on.
Shout out to that.
Yeah.
It was what episode? I think that was probably episode what? 11 maybe.
Yeah, we were infant stage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was in the hood.
Yeah.
We was in the hole in the wall.
Hey man, progression.
I know, right? Evolution.
Yeah.
Evolution.
Absolutely.
So the voice that you hear in the background is Mr. Rashad Cave. How you doing, brother?
Did you put the cheers?
Yeah, it's right there.
Okay, I just wanted to make
You can't hear it. I can hear it. The people can hear it. How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm blessed and highly favored, man. I appreciate you and thank you. And honestly, I'm just appreciative you allowed me in the studio. You have really come and has transformed this vision. During COVID, I remember you talking, and it's like, man, I want to use my talents and my gifts and really create a podcast. And I was like, man, Adam, talk to me, explain this to me, help me understand this vision. And you have single-handedly, of course with help, but single-handedly really evolved. And to see the studio how it is now versus where you came from, man, kudos to you.
I appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. Yeah, man.
I actually think I was one of your first sponsors, too.
You probably was. Yeah, you're right. New Orleans Daiquiris to go, man. Was one of the first sponsors that gave us a generous donation. We can't tell how much it was, but it was a generous donation. If you guys go back and look at the clips, we had the actual cups up there.
Yeah, we did.
We had market placement up there, right? Product placement. Yeah, man. So I see that you're doing well, man. I see you not just doing well, but I know you do a lot of things in the city. But one reason why you came up here, talk about business and how business is going. You know, you being an entrepreneur for the last 10 years?
Roughly, yeah.
Roughly 10 years, right? You had a lot of ups and downs, right? For the people that don't know Rashad Cave, first of all, I'm going too fast because I know you, but the people don't know you. Some of the people don't know you. Who is Rashad Cave?
Man, I don't know if we have enough time. Do we have? Okay. No. All jokes aside, Rashad Cave is a very strong, smart, intelligent, giving, hardworking man. Came from the bottom of Houston, Texas, over there in the southeast part of Houston, South Park. I went all the way through Houston to Sterling High School, where I graduated with in aviation science, which is a magnet program over there in Sterling and an HISD school system. And then I took my talents to Southern University, SU.
Shout out to Southern, man.
Yes, man. And I truly enjoyed my time there at Southern, and Southern helped mold me into the man that I am. I spent my adult life at Southern. I spent my better years of learning how to become a man in Baton Rouge. And I started my family in Louisiana and brought all that back to Houston. Fast forward, I'm in politics. I work for the current mayor now, Mayor John Whitmire. I'm a city council liaison. where I work with the council members on their community issues as it pertains to the Department of Neighborhoods. And so that's what I do during the day. Every time I preface that by saying I do that during the day, because that's who I am during the day. But in the evenings and on the weekends, I really do feel that it's important to have your own, right? And as I have desired and still working towards the ability to be an elected official one day, the ability to have income and income streams is very important. So not only so that you can be detached from a system that can move you how they wish, but also to be able to truly financially make the moves that you feel like are best for you while still representing people and not having to feel like you have to compromise either one, helping people or making money.
Right. That makes sense. And also, you forgot something. So
Talk to me.
You said that most of your adult years were started in Baton Rouge. You started your family in Baton Rouge. You also started business in Baton Rouge.
I did.
The club. I can't name the club, but the club.
Yeah,
business.
no, let's say Grown and Sexy Wednesdays at Club Rags.
Club Rags. Shout out to Club Rags, man.
Big shout out to Norman Sparrow. And big shout out to all the promoters out there. It's ironic, but in Baton Rouge, there's still a lot of the same promoters that were there then is still alive now and still making moves. So big shout out to them. I think that's kind of why we started off as friends, Adam. You and I, we have a very exciting energy where we talk to people, we engage with people, and I took that talent and really became a promoter. In Baton Rouge, the issue is that for African Americans, because we didn't own a whole lot of clubs, we had to create our fund, right? And so therefore, the promoters became probably one of the biggest entities because instead of us going to certain clubs that we knew that we could go to, we went to the urban hood clubs during the week, and then we looked for halls that we rented out and designed and created spaces for party nightlife. And I was in that space, and I just transitioned as I moved forward. But that was a great time.
So when you came back to Houston, did you continue being a promoter?
I didn't. And I think God works in mysterious ways, right? Because I think the idea that you can throw a party, right, and throw an event and have, let's say, in those cases, probably my biggest event had maybe close to 1,200 people there, right, which was a back-to-school event that I did. But the idea of what it takes to promote and galvanize and grasp people's attention is a skill. It takes promotion, it takes engagement, it takes interaction with people. And so I think that God not only gave me that to experience what it felt like being an entrepreneur, but also to how to engage, communicate effectively to move people in a certain direction. And so now instead of moving people to clubs, I'm more so moving people to the ballot booths. I'm moving people to political issues that are extremely important and doing it in a genuine way. And I think whether you're throwing parties or you're promoting people on the benefits for their community, if you come across as genuine, it can be received.
Absolutely. I call it galvanizing.
I could go with that.
Galvanizing people. But I want to jump into this. I know that you are affiliate, because you could clear it up. You're affiliated with New Orleans Daiquiris to Go.
Yeah.
Right? So for those who don't know that just moved to Houston or haven't been to the north side, south side, Hempstead, it's a daiquiri shop, correct?
Yeah.
Daiquiri shop, and it's called New Orleans Daiquiris to Go, right?
Yeah.
And
I like how you said it proper, like you ain't from that city, New Orleans.
I can't say New Orleans like that. New Orleans Daiquiris to Go. So in New Orleans Daiquiris to Go, first of all, what does New Orleans Daiquiris to Go have to offer? Because I've been once or twice. I know what it has to offer, but people that from out of town that just moved here, what does it have to offer?
That's a good point. So first and foremost, let me be very clear, you all. Louisiana culture is extremely strong here in Houston.
You heard me?
Period. And I think that I think it's actually interwoven in Houston's fabric. And this was before even Katrina. And when you look at some of the history of daiquiris actually is the mothership of, or was invented in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Right. And you can look at the history of just that drink and that beverage, and in fact, when we go to New Orleans, right, or we go to the city and we go on Bourbon Street, right, that's one of the first things that people that are from the outside come in and partake in. And so not only that, my mother had and family has roots in New Orleans, and believe it or not, most people that don't understand Louisiana culture just feel like Louisiana is New Orleans sometimes.
Right.
So
what state are you from?
Yeah,
New Orleans.
Yeah,
that's right.
That really is the truth. But to answer your question, the idea of just the name in itself had everything to do with the rich history of the culture. Mm-hmm. The culture that I became accustomed to, that I had family and roots from, and the respect that daiquiris needed to be tied to, which was the home, New Orleans. So we created the company, New Orleans Daiquiris to Go, and Go was spelled different, right? Mm-hmm. Most people out here that say Go, G-O, but it was spelled the Louisiana French inspired way. LSU has done a really great job of, I think, manufacturing Go on a lot of shirts, but Go was spelled G-E-A-U-X, and that was very distinctive. And I give my homeboy Yermi credit, because he's the one that challenged me and pushed me to call it Go, G-E-A-U-X. But and so we created it, and myself, along with two other business partners, and we started off in this one little small store in the Sunnyside area off of Cullen, and to our growth, we expanded up to 6 locations.
Wow. Okay.
And now those 6 locations we've revamped and no longer have all 6 locations, but it just speaks to the idea and the concept and how big it was able to get, and how we were able to grow it when we were all a team.
So why the hospitality business? Because it's many things. Like coming from Baton Rouge, it's many things. You could have been just a regular restaurant. You know, Louisiana is rich with food, the culture of food. You could have been you in politics. You could have just went directly into politics and just say, you know what, I'm gonna start a booth, a business where people, I can educate people and get paid for doing it. You could have went any direction, but you choose to go in the hospitality direction. So why did you go in the hospitality direction?
So that's a good point. And part of it was actually sticking to daiquiris. So, in Houston, we were, in Texas, just in general, it was exciting to be able to experience what Louisiana has always experienced. Mm-hmm. It is a Louisiana pastime to go to work from 8 to 4:30 or 5, get off, go through the drive-through, get your daiquiri before you go home.
That's right.
Right? That's just a pastime. And in fact, they look at that as that's their version of an icy, driving home, getting ready to wind down. And so the idea that you could do that in Houston was so phenomenal that the energy was extremely exciting about the idea that you can go into an establishment, purchase this drink that is an adult beverage that is almost like an adult snow cone, mm-hmm. and be able to wind down with it, right?
Adult snow cone.
And that's practically what it is. But I think with that excitement, I felt like it was still a niche, to answer your question. Mm-hmm. There was a niche that was still taking place where I saw that a lot of Texas, we were not the first company to come in and create daiquiris in Houston or in Texas. We were not. But I felt like we were the first ones that came as close as possible to how they are in the city, which is important.
Talking about the ingredients.
The ingredients and how the establishment was displayed. Okay. A lot of the daiquiri shops had more of a retail aspect to it, where it's like a counter and you order.
Yeah.
All of our locations had a bar where you ordered, right?
Okay.
A lot of times when it came down to daiquiris, a lot of daiquiri companies loved the idea of clear cups because you could see the pretty little rainbow colors.
The swirls.
But in Louisiana, that's no Diddy. You got to say no Diddy now.
No Diddy.
But now it's but in Louisiana, we stick to what we know is true: styrofoam cups.
Absolutely.
Why? Because we know we can use it. It stays cooler, and then we can put it in the refrigerator if we haven't finished it. Right. So we stuck to the core values of what Louisiana perceived as a true daiquiri, and I think that was our niche and that was our success. In addition to something that I helped create, which was infused fruit.
Okay.
And so there was a company out here that was called Candy Shack, and their niche was sweetness, right?
Yeah.
We have these
Everything
daiquiris.
candy, all that,
We
yeah.
put a clear cup, and we just loaded up with candy, and it was pretty much enticing to a lot of people, especially younger demographics.
Mm-hmm.
But what we decided to do was take actual fruit, that we fresh, that we cut, and that in some cases we either pureed or that we would cut and soak in alcohol and garnish with the daiquiri. So
Okay.
imagine you having a Long Island with an orange at the bottom of your cup.
Yeah. Okay.
It was soaked in alcohol. You put it in your daiquiri, you finish your daiquiri, and then you look at the bottom and it's like, oh man, I have this orange left, and it is delicious because it's soaked in all the daiquiri juices. It is full of alcohol and almost kind of like a treat.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so that's what we were coined for. That's what made us different, and I think that added to our success, which gave us a niche, which is what was the rationale for us coming into the Houston and Texas market.
So how was Texas? How was the Texas area? Because you said you started off of Cullen,
Right.
the South Park area.
Yeah.
How receptive was the people? Because now I'm not from Houston, but I've been here long enough to know that area is kind of urbanish. I'm gonna use that term. A safe term is urbanist. So it's not a lot of salt. Most places is salt, liquor.
Yeah.
Salt and liquor, right?
Yeah.
All the food has salt in it and the number liquor. How receptive was the people when that first established?
They was very receptive.
Okay.
And customer service goes a long way, right? Even to this day, when you walk into any store that we have or that I'm a part of or that I own, as soon as the door opens, we are training our team to greet.
Okay.
Right? Hey, welcome to Daiquiris to Go, or hey, how you doing, ma'am? Right? And then that goes part of what the Southern charm is all about.
Right.
And so our customer service, I think, really helped explain to the outside customer that whether you call urban or whether you call reformed or gentrified, because Sunnyside has gentrified
Very much.
It gave them a feel of ownership that this company was here. It was here to stay. It was here to be a part of the community, and that we were willing to do what it takes to not just expect that you were going to do business with us, but to earn it.
Yeah. That's good, man, because every time I go there, I hear Zydeco, the Southwest
Absolutely.
Louisiana. Every time I go, there's crawfish.
Yeah.
Turkey
In
necks.
season.
In season. It's
Yeah.
turkey necks.
Yeah.
It's a lot of Louisiana-based food that
Absolutely.
That's good. And not just that, but the daiquiris are off the chain, especially if it's hot. In Houston, it stays hot 9 months out the year.
100%.
So,
Yeah.
the 110 degrees.
Yeah.
This week gonna be kind of cooler, but it's all good. So, if somebody would never came, what are their expectations? What should they expect coming in outside? I know you said customer service first, but in terms of like the presentation.
No, so and that's a really great point. So number one, the idea of stepping in a location is the idea of walking in and experiencing a little piece of Louisiana in the middle of Texas. Which hopefully we'll talk to you about, but the location that I am now centered on and focused on is off of Homestead. It's 10610 Homestead, which is at the intersection of Homestead and Little York. And so when you come in, you'll see a great environment, a comfortable environment where people are greeting you, a little taste of Louisiana, some great daiquiris that you can sample, some great walk in and walk out food, such as chicken wings that we season to perfection, and really a great vibe that would beg for you to either come in, sit, eat, and chill,
Right.
or get a drink, grab some food, walk out, but come back, sit, eat, and chill.
Right. That's the number one thing with hospitality. It's not you get a lot of customers one day. It's that returning customer.
No, 100%. And believe it or not, Houston is growing so fast now, and it's in the people that are coming inside the city. It is definitely important for every business owner to grasp the attention of their customer, whether it's local or even out of state, because you never know when you're going to be able to, get that customer back.
So I want I want you to tell the people the names. You guys have unique names for these daiquiris. You know it's New Orleans based, so I want you to give some of the names so people get familiar with it.
Yeah, no, man, we have a plethora of names. Our famous one that we have right now is called Gumbo Juice, and that's our Hurricane blend, and that is probably the one of the go-to. We have another drink that is probably our second biggest seller, which is called French Quarter.
Okay.
And it's our version of Long Island. And then we just go down the line, all the way down to Mardi Gras, which is our margarita flavor, down to Wild Wayne, which is our strawberry flavor, and because we have the ability to mix and combine and create, and we blend our daiquiris, if asked or if liked to, we have the ability to create almost a plethora of almost 40 different flavors intertwined into the flavors that we have currently there. So it's a great idea to come and locate. Come in to support and view our daiquiri shop, and just kind of get a feel for it. But I will say this: notice how I said that at our peak we owned 5 locations. What I realized, and this is a lot of times people talk to you about all the great things that happen in business, right? But they very seldom tell you the things that you wish you could have changed or done different. When I first started the business, my idea was, man, I want to own 20 locations. Right?
Okay.
I want to be 20 locations.
Scale. You want to scale.
I want to scale up. I'll be my own regional manager, driving in between, checking in expectations. And what I realized is how much capital it would take and how difficult the business has changed.
Yeah.
Number one, the capital was something that I was not afraid of, because I feel like if you're very aggressive and you have a proven product, you can go out and obtain it. But the idea of the capital while the business was changing was a little scary. Right now, it is not hard to find a daiquiri anywhere. Right, you can go to just about any of your major restaurants, and now they're offering daiquiris. You can now walk into just about any major gas station. Gas station
to go
and get a daiquiri. And I'm not talking about a slushie. I'm talking about an actual daiquiri. And so the business has spread it so far out to make it so easily obtainable. The idea of 20 dedicated daiquiri locations is very hard now in this market. And so what I have pivoted to underneath Daiquiris to Go is Cave to Go, and what Cave to Go owns the rights to a LLC called Infused Fruit to Go.
Okay.
And so just like I talked to you about what was that niche that made our daiquiris different, right now I realized that I can sell more infused fruit to garnish not only your daiquiri or your adult beverage faster than I could probably one single cup in a store.
So the fruit comes by itself, or
the fruit we have manufactured now and are now marketing infused fruit that is captured in a mason jar.
Okay.
That has been infused with our plethora of daiquiri flavors. So the first fruit that we have started off with is pickles. So in the hood, you can go to any gas station and just get a dill pickle, right? No Diddy, right? And then you started it. Anyhow,
you'll get a pickle anyway.
But more than that, though, you can go just about anywhere in the urban area in apartment complexes and get a Kool-Aid pickle, right? Because people still sell Kool-Aid pickles.
Yeah.
What we did was we took the pickle, we chopped it down, we scaled it, and we soaked it in our own special daiquiri mix.
Okay.
And we soak it for 4 days. And by soaking it for 4 days, it turns not only the color of the daiquiri mix, one. Number two, it tastes. The taste has an enriched flavor as if you're eating Kool-Aid flavored with an alcohol content.
Oh, wow.
All in one.
So you don't have that. Do you still have that pickle flavor?
So you have the pickle flavor mixed with a very sweet daiquiri savory flavor, which is a very great flavor and is a very interesting flavor. And so we're starting with pickles, right?
Okay.
We're going to move on from pickles to pineapples to cherries. And so it will really be a niche that we will be centering our focus in on. But also, too, that's not only the only product that we'll be pushing. We'll be having, in addition to that, freeze pops, right? We created, and we used to do freeze packages, kind of like, like the squeeze pop Capri Sun packages. We used to do those at the store, and our San Antonio store, which our good friend they were working on trying to use some of the mid-sized freeze pops and fill it up, and it was just so time consuming, and it really it was not worth the labor time selling cups.
Yeah.
But as from an industry standpoint, we were able to work with a particular manufacturer. We have now the technology and the equipment in a line to where we'll be able to manufacture freeze pops. So just imagine like when you go to Walmart and you see the big, $8.99 package with all the Kool-Aid freeze pops. Imagine going into the freezer and an adult beverage freeze pop.
Oh, that's dope.
And then also to a 6-pack, right? If you can go to the corner store and get a 6-pack of beer, 6-pack of coolers, why can't you go to the corner store and get a 6-pack of daiquiri?
Yeah.
Right? And so these are the products that we're now working on and that we have created and that we are now bringing to light as a pivot and a response to how we plan on still being and bringing not only just people in Texas, but throughout the whole United States, a taste of Louisiana.
Yeah, so that's dope because the creativity and being innovative in that way because, during COVID, everything did change.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
If you could get whoever had to go whatever liquor, they made a big thing on it, right? So
Absolutely.
Like you said, everybody is doing it now, but you guys are innovative in your approach. I never thought about that. A 6-pack daiquiri.
A 6-pack of daiquiris.
That's
man.
dope.
So let me be very clear too. We have, and this is one thing that I didn't do beforehand. We actually tried to copyright New Orleans daiquiris to go. And we had challenges from a bigger company that owned almost 30 locations
in New Orleans.
Specifically, and the legal fees got crazy, right? So we pivoted. We still own the LLC to New Orleans Daiquiris to Go, Orleans Daiquiris to Go, and just Daiquiris to Go.
Okay.
But what we're pivoting underneath that is the infused fruit to go, which will be the owner of those products that we just mentioned. And again, the goal is to still, number one, know that if you've been to any one of our stores, that our products are going to be just a taste of what you're going to experience at home.
Right.
And I mean, the idea of it is going to be even past, of course, your corner stores. The idea would be, your market stores, your grocery stores,
right?
Where, I don't know about you all, but a lot of people order their groceries, right? Louisiana, we say go make groceries, right?
Yeah, we made groceries.
But the idea to be able to order that to your doorstep would be even just another faster, efficient way.
That's dope. So, I want you to give the people places, events where New Orleans Daiquiri is going to be. Because I know I seen you 2 years in a row at Texas Southern at their homecoming.
Right.
I don't know if I saw you at Prairie View homecoming. I think it fell on the same day. It was something like that. But let the people know what events or what places you're going to be outside of the brick and mortar.
No, that's a really great point. So number one, we have a tent thanks to We Care RX. That was another plug, right? We Care RX, one of the biggest pharmacies in the entire city. They have 2 locations, Memorial area as well as the medical center, and they deliver. So look them up, We Care RX. Dr. Brandy Williams, the owner and operator of that. And so I want to make sure that not only I show her love and respect, but give her credit. Has also 2 opens up the door for us every year to share a tent where we are at the TSU homecoming. Our goal is to be at PV's homecoming this year. We'll be at Southern University's homecoming as well, with some marketing tools. But I really want to thank you, because this interview right here is actually the jumpstart of our launch. You can go to Infuse Fruit to go on Instagram, Facebook, and our website should be up momentarily. And this will be the first of many conversations of us actually physically and verbally communicating about these new exciting products that we're now bringing not only to Texas, but to the whole U.S.
Yeah, that's dope. So where's locations that we can find these infused fruit and the daiquiris?
Yes. So currently right now you can go to 10810 Homestead in Houston, Texas. It's on the north side. And you can find the original daiquiris to go location, formulas for our daiquiris, the infused fruit, as well as our infused pickles. And that is the mothership. We are open every day, which when we reached 5 locations, that was one of my number one pet peeves, is that we open every day.
Yeah.
And so when you go to that location, you'll be able to see us open every day, serving every day, rain, sleet, or snow, and be able to see some of the products that we're discussing right now. For sure, the infused pickles, and coming soon, the popsicles as well as the cans.
So in closing, what is your dream or your goal for New Orleans daiquiris to go? What is it? Do you want to continue to scale? Do you want to eventually sell? Do you want to? What's your goal?
Man,
ultimately,
number one, I really want to thank. Even though we're no longer together, I want to thank my business partners. Right, roughly close to 10 years ago, I had a dream to create a daiquiri shop, right? And I came to these 2 business partners, and I asked for them to yield and work with me on this dream, and we went as far as we could go. And so I really want to tip my hats off to them. One of the things, though, that I realized in this business, as I stated before, is that that you have to be able to pivot, right? We went from the idea of getting a daiquiri and having to explain what a daiquiri is, and having stores that strictly sold daiquiris, to now having daiquiris in every restaurant, club, bar, and gas station in the entire city.
Right.
And so one of the things that I really want to do as a man and as a father and as a person in community is to really make sure that I practice what I preach, which is being able to pivot. There's no you have to pivot, right? The idea of standing still in any entity, in any business, is a disaster. Is a formula for disaster.
Right.
And so I want to be able to show to my sons and to show to the world that not only did we appreciate when you supported us, when you purchased our daiquiris and you purchased our food, but that we have not forgot about you. And that even though the market has gotten saturated, that we are still working our butts off to make sure that the customer service, the energy, and the great vibe that you received coming into our store can be wrapped into one product and shipped to you, and hopefully shared in the taste that you will experience, whether that's our infused fruit, our popsicles, or our canned daiquiris.
Got you. So guys, look, that was a great story. That was a great explanation on New Orleans daiquiris to go. I didn't know it went that deep into the intel of, and what goes into the business and making a product, a A1 product to the people. I want to ask you this, and this is not this could be a question, but I know voting is coming up, right?
Yeah.
Right? Go vote, first and foremost.
Absolutely.
Go vote. Is it possible You can have complimentary daiquiris out there and passing at the polls.
So absolutely, that is definitely something that we are working on. And listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. Not only just daiquiris, but what I was actually working on was trying to create incentives for people to go vote. And the incentives was centered around not only the daiquiri business, but also to entertainment, right now we know that the biggest voting block that is not voting is 18 to 35-year-olds,
right?
And so they're still motivated by entertainment, right? And so how could we entertain them and get them excited about going out to vote? And we were going to do a free concert.
Yeah.
And the idea had got so big that we still waiting on a legal response to that. The state of Texas has some of the very strongest, strenuous voting rules.
Yeah.
And so they state that you cannot give,
you can't
offer, or promote an item or a product or a service to convince somebody to
vote for someone.
Right. And so even though our goal was to do it as just to get out and vote, it could be easily persuaded. So we're still working on it. The idea might be, instead of doing it before, do it after, and after the actual election. To be continued.
Yeah. I got you. That's a good idea. I thought about that. That'd be something great. Keep it clean. No Democrat, no Republic.
Just we educating you to go vote.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's
it.
Vote.
It's very important.
Yeah, voting is important, man. We're coming up on it, so I want you guys to go out there and vote. But we got to get out of here. Before we get out of here, Rashad, give the people your information. Give the people the information of the location one more time, so just in case they didn't get it.
So, if you love my vernacular explanation of my business and what I do during the day, and you just want to follow me as an individual, please just go follow me on Instagram, Cave for Houston, Facebook, Rashad Cave, where you can just look at me and see my history, see my family, and see how I've evolved and still evolving, not only just in the business but in politics, because I could always use your support, and I'm always giving support and information and education about voting and about issues, especially issues inside the inner city of Houston. For our daiquiris, we still have daiquiris to go on our Instagram. We have NO Daiquiris to go on our Instagram as well. Feel free to go follow those, and they will lead you to not only infused fruit to go, but it'll lead you to a homestead location, which is 10810 Homestead, which is at the intersection of Homestead and Little York. It is our north side location. It's small, but it's very comfortable, exciting, and a place that you definitely want to check out, whether you're coming into town or whether you're in town and you just want to really see what all the hype is about.
Right.
And again, we're open every day, so come and check us out. And just in general, if you're not supporting me, try to make sure that we support all of our local and Black-owned businesses. I think it's very important. I think it's important to make sure that our dollar circulates in our community at a lot faster rate than what it is, and that only comes by your support. So thank you to the listeners, and thank you, Adam, for really opening up the door for having us.
And this commercial was endorsed by now.
Oh yeah.
Nah. Guys, man, look, I appreciate you coming up, man. Thank you guys who tuned in. Make sure you guys tune in. Make sure you guys go support. There's 3 things I want you to do after you listen to this interview. I want you to go vote, register to vote if you haven't. Go vote. I want you to go visit the shop over there. I want y'all to go holler at Rashad. You know what I'm saying? He give y'all some good hospitality, some good Louisiana hospitality. If you've never been to Louisiana, New Orleans, if you've never been, that's the closest you're going to get to being in Louisiana, in Texas. Like you said, it's a small piece of Louisiana in Texas. That's a good slogan right there.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
Hashtag,
right? Guys, we got to get out of here, man. You already know where I'm at. I'm Mr. DJ KO everywhere at Costly Distinct. You know that's what it is. Once again, shout out to Red Coral Universe and also 605 Adult Beverages. Much love to you guys for supporting the show, man. we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep building. We're gonna keep growing, man. Guys, word of the day is, give us a word of the day before we get out of here.
Pivot.
Pivot. That's a good one.
Yeah,
Pivot.
and whether we're dealing with business, our personal lives, stresses, obstacles, we have to, as people, to be successful, be able to pivot.
And that's it. That's the word, guys. We gotta get out of here, man. Much love. You can't look. I love you guys, and you can't do nothing about it. Peace out. And that's a wrap.